Nigerian government has announced it is collaborating with Amazon Prime Video to train Nigerians on local content in movie production and boost opportunities. This was disclosed by the Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, in a meeting with officials of Amazon Prime Video towards building capacity of Nigerians for local content in movie production. Joining us now to discuss further, Koroye, who's the managing editor of Tech Cabal. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. I wanted to start with the ECOWAS ruling. Did you think the court could have, moved faster? The decision comes, 6 months after the ban was lifted.
Hi, Rotus. Good afternoon, everyone. To answer your question, I believe that the ruling came at the appointed time. I think that with a situation like the Twitter ban, it's quite sensitive, so it's important that the court takes its time to assess different angles, understand what happened, listen to testimonies, I'm sure. So I don't think that this is something that can be rushed. I don't think it's something that they could just come into a quick decision. I believe that they had to take a lot of precaution. Obviously, this ruling is going to determine a lot of changes. And I believe that Nigerian citizens who are active on social media will feel some kind of vindication from this ruling. So I'm sure it's arriving at the right time, and a lot of people will be quite glad to hear about the ruling.
How do you think governments should view social media firms like Twitter?
I believe that it's important that our government considers forming cordial relationships with social media platforms like Twitter, even Meta, Instagram. I mean, the list is endless, but these are social media platforms that a lot of Nigerians use. A lot of Nigerians use it for personal reasons and for professional reasons. So I believe that it is in the government's advantage to actually build and develop relationships with global social media brands so that Nigerian citizens aren't left out of a wider conversation or a series of wide conversations that are happening on the internet, that are happening online. I don't think that it's right for us to be cut out of that just because our government is delaying on developing important relationships, such as one with Twitter.
All right. Well, Kenya has elections in a few weeks in August. Nigeria has elections in February of next year. Does the prevalence of fake news on social media bother you?
I do think that everyone should be mindful of the kind of information that they're putting out and also receiving online. I do think that the Nigerian government and the Kenyan government need to put in precautions in place to ensure that fake news, especially about elections, I'm sure we're going to see a lot of things on social media platforms leading up to Kenya's election is in August, Nigeria's next year. So I believe that the government has to play a part in disseminating distributing factual information and ensuring that they're educating Nigerians on how to spot the difference between what is real, what is factual, what can be backed by proof, and what has been created to confuse or to even rile people up online. So I do believe that both governments have a responsibility to put safe news dissemination protocols in place.
All right, let's move to this collaboration between the federal government of Nigeria and Amazon Prime Video. What do you make of it?
I think that it's a fantastic collaboration. I believe that Amazon is joining a host of streaming services that are already catering to the African market. We have to remember that Showmax exists, Netflix Nigeria exists already. So I believe that Nollywood has showcased very strong young talent, rising talent. And I believe that global brands like Amazon are realizing that Nigeria has a propensity to tell really great stories. We do it through our music, we do it through our art, and we do it through our movies and TV shows, right? But Nollywood has been in dire need of proper funding, proper access to capital to be able to develop more original stories, more original TV shows. We saw how well Blood Sisters did on Netflix. I mean, there were conversations around that movie that went on for weeks, right? So I'm really looking forward to seeing how Amazon will help the film industry develop rising talent and even pay homage to, to the previous generation of actors and actresses who really made a name for themselves in Nollywood.
Speaking of Nollywood, do you think, because Nollywood, they release movies in theaters, their new movies out this Friday, do you think the streaming services pose a threat to the cinema industry?
I believe that the cinema industry should actually consider partnering with streaming services, right? Because the world, guess what? Look, everyone is going digital, right? A lot of people are very comfortable watching Netflix on their phone. They're very comfortable downloading a streaming app, right? So instead of feeling threatened, I believe that cinemas, especially local cinemas, should find ways to partner with these streaming services to see if they can even take some of the movies that they show in cinemas and bring them online, right? So that way they're accessing a wider pool of subscribers, of viewers, right? And if you're able to meet people online, you're able to buy into a really large market.
Koromode, thank you so much, Managing Editor at Tech Cabal. We appreciate your time so much for joining us to talk about the latest in the federal government and also with streaming as well. Thank you so much.